Rick Tocchet speaks out and praises this rookie. And the Canucks hint at two players returning to the lineup, which makes them have some decisions to make. I'll get into that later on this episode. Before I start, I just want to say we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. I set a goal to try to get 1,000 by the end of the week, which is today. If you guys are enjoying this content, make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be all season long giving you updates from all around the Canucks, from prospects, trade, rumors, anything you can think of. So make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, which is Rick Tocchet speaks out on a rookie. Now, you might be wondering, what rookie is this? And the Canucks media did come out and say that Rick Tocchet was speaking after today's practice and said, Bains is doing the little things that I love. Really good on the forecheck, the handling, the puck. He's not scared. Now, we've seen Bains make his debut just 3 games ago. Right now, he does look quite good. He's getting kind of thrown around the lineup. This is actually his first full practice with the Canucks now that they're home. He had his first home game against the Bruins last night. They won in OT. It was just a memorable moment for a kid. But overall, he's just getting his foot into the door, and he's really getting his groove going. I mean, you look at Bains, as I said, he played against Colorado, Seattle, Boston. Yes, he was held pointless in all 3 games. He was a -2 against Colorado and a -1 against Boston. He has 4 penalty minutes, no power play goals, no shorthanded goals. He has 3 shots, but you can see his ice time just sitting around the 12-minute mark. Against Colorado, you've seen he played 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Against Seattle, he played 12 minutes and 57 seconds. And last night against the Bruins, he played 11 minutes and 20 seconds. The big thing to look at this, these are strong teams to face. He was kind of thrown in against a tough schedule. When you look again, like I said, Colorado and Seattle was just at the tail end of the Canucks road trip. These are strong teams. Colorado is one of the top teams in the league. Seattle is a team that's not easy to push around. And then you see the Boston Bruins, which are just kind of chewing away at the Canucks and are just sitting behind them in the standings. So seeing that Bains is playing 11, 12, 13 minutes against high competition like this, he's forechecking hard and just overall impressing the coach. As I said, you look at Rick Tocchet. He was saying how good of a forechecker he is, how good he is at handling the puck, and that he's not afraid of the moment. And this leads to Bains speaking out during the media scrum today as well and saying, it's fast and that's how I want to play the game. It's a good jump, but I think I'm handling pretty well and I've got more to give. Like I said, this was after he spoke today after his first full practice with the Canucks, which is kind of crazy to think this is his 3rd NHL game, which was last night against the Bruins. This kid's already looking like a professional. We've seen him look outstanding in the AHL. He won AHL All-Star MVP. And overall, yes, he hasn't put up the points. Yes, he was a -3 over these games, but these are hard teams to play against. I did a video recently just kind of talking about his debut when they did play Colorado. Like I said, in that game, he was a -2. But if you looked at the overall 13 minutes time on attack, he was facing competition like Cale Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, Rantanen, Devon Taves. They were putting these players out there because this is a rookie. They want him to have the hardest matchups. Obviously, Colorado gets the benefit when you're playing against a rookie, someone that might not be as experienced or skilled, whatever it might be against the top line. So when you do really look at this as well and you look at the lineups, right now Bains is just kind of standing pat on that 3rd line. Right now, I do love these lines, especially the top 9. Bains, Lindholm, and Connor Garland is coming in on the 3rd line. Then you have on the 2nd line, Pius Suter, JT Miller, you have Brock, and on the top line, Höglander, Pettersson, and Mikheyev. The big thing with this is right now with the Canucks top 9, these lines are going to shuffle. This is probably not going to be what it will become playoff time. And right now, all these players are getting a lot of the same minutes. I mean, obviously, Elias Lindholm's not getting 3rd line minutes. You look at Connor Garland, who has been on the 3rd line for quite some time. But this is the thing where they're not getting the minutes of a 3rd line, and they're kind of deploying this as 3 lines in a top 6, and you kind of just go by matchups, just any kind of favorable matchups. And overall, I think Bains is holding his own, and with the way Tocchet's speaking about him, with the way he's talking about himself, with how the team looks with him there, I think it's a fair chance to say that even with returning players, I think Bains stays in this lineup. Maybe that's in the top 6, bottom 6, middle 6, whatever it might be. I think we're going to start getting used to seeing Bains, because I think not only this season, but I think next year, this will be his time to break out, and I think he will be a full-time Canuck, and I'm super excited for it. So what's your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think Bains has looked good? Are you happy with how Rick Tocchet was speaking on him, how Bains said he has more to give, and just the potential of this guy, just a BC native, coming in and playing for his team? But with that, let's hop straight into the second topic today, which is what changes can we expect when healthy? And this came today when Jeff Patterson was kind of speaking, and he asked Tocchet about Soucy or Joshua and when they will return to the main group. And he said they're both close. Been 5 weeks for Soucy, 2 weeks for Joshua. Believes both skated before practice today, and I think it's just a matter of time when they do get back. I mean, obviously we've seen both of them get injured. Right now one is on retroactive LTIR and IR, but these guys will be back, and I think it's going to make a bit of a change for the Canucks as well. Right now on defense, I think Soucy's going to slide right back into the second pairing, maybe the third pairing, but this is not going to shake up too much. But when you do look at the forward group, it kind of makes you think, what happens when Dakota Joshua returns? So as I said, right now you do have the top 9, as I said, Höglander, Pettersson, Mikheyev. Second line, you have Pius Suter, JT Miller, Brock. You have Bains, Lindholm, Garland. You got PDG, Teddy Bluger, Sam Lafferty. You have all these guys in here now, but with the return of Dakota Joshua, what do you do at this point? Maybe you just kind of slide out a guy like PDG. Maybe you bring up a guy like Phil Kessel. But where does he slide in? Yes, the third line looked outstanding. I think getting Teddy Bluger, Dakota Joshua, and Connor Garland back is perfect. And in my opinion, which might not be popular for a lot of people, is I think this is where you could look at Bains really sliding into the second line, getting his feet wet in the NHL, and starting to make an impact. I mean, as I said, if you can slide Bains up into this top 6, you'd have Bains, JT Miller, Brock. This would just be an outstanding second pairing. You can slide Pius Suter back down to the fourth line. Maybe you can move Teddy Bluger up to the third line and just get Dakota Joshua back. Just reunite this third line that just looked outstanding so long into the season. I mean, the team misses having Joshua. We've seen him go out and they took 3 straight losses. They were down against the Bruins. They came back, won in overtime. But I think this team truly wants Dakota Joshua back sooner rather than later. Obviously, that's a stupid comment because they want him back. But what I meant by that is they need him back. This is a guy that brings so much, not even just on the score sheet, just a physical impact, just a presence on the ice that this team is lacking. Now, the Canucks did make a move as well today, and this was General Manager Patrik Allvin announced today that Jett Woo has been assigned to the Abbotsford Canucks. Now, the big thing with this is, yes, Jett Woo has not got his NHL debut. We've seen him called up, I believe it's 2 times, 3 times so far this season. He hasn't got his debut. And I truly think at this point it was just more of a call-up. We've seen Sidorov was a little shaken up. We've seen Noah Juleson was a little shaken up. And then with Soucy out and placed on retroactive IR, I think this was just a precautionary kind of thing, calling him up. At this point, I can't see a guy like Jett Woo just kind of getting his NHL debut. Maybe they do this at the end of the year, maybe in the last 2, 3, 4 games. If they can clinch the President's Trophy, if they clinch home ice, maybe you call him up, give someone some rest, get him in for a few games, see what you have with him in the NHL, and then just make the deciding factor on him at the end of the year. When you go into free agency, this guy is on the last year of his deal. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. Yes, he has looked great this year. He's looked great in the AHL so far this entire season, but you don't know what you have in a guy like this. And at the age of 23, 24, you'd like to know if this guy can hold his own at the NHL, but I don't think he'll get the Bains treatment and get called up and look like he's going to stay for the rest of the season. So what's your thoughts on this as well? I know it's a lot of information to take in. Do you think Dakota Joshua is going to come back and immediately get put into that third line? Do you think you maybe see him on the fourth line to not shake things up too much? Are you excited to get a guy like Carson Soucy back? Because I know I am for sure. And what's your thoughts on Bains? Can you see him be a Canuck for the entirety of this season, next year, and the next 20 seasons, hopefully? Or do you think they'll end up sending him back down when a guy like Dakota Joshua does come back? But that'd be it for this episode of Canucks Digest. If you enjoyed this episode, like I said, make sure to go down, hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite Canucks player of all time. Let me know your favorite game you've ever seen, watched live, whatever it might be. I love reading the comments. But with that, take care and have a good day.